Okay, the first thing we're going to do today is the installation of a finisher that requires a spacer on the bottom of the input device. The spacer is located in the packaging with the finisher. So we're going to unpackage the finisher and identify all those components and then attach the spacer to the input device. Get a hand lifting the box off. We'll tell you what. Let's open the box. Let's take out the components. There's a couple of components on top. So here's the spacer. This also requires a second exit. We'll see that a little bit later. And the installation guide is inside the box as well. I'm going to identify and take out the second exit unit. That's the second exit. I want to point out some screws, Michael. Just keep okay. So here's the connection hardware. Those are internal brackets for the engine. Okay. And some miscellaneous screws. Okay. Down in here, don't want to lose any of this stuff. Those are the brackets for attaching the tray to the finisher. Okay. These are the external brackets for attaching the finisher to the engine. Okay. And this is the staple cartridge. Another thing we have inside the box. This is the paper pass or IPTU. Just lift it straight up and maybe backwards. So reach down, lift gently, take the foam out, take the bag. It's kind of open here. Now we're clearing it. So what we're going to do is just kind of pull it down to the end of the pallet. Okay? And we're going to grab it. We're going to tilt it. So this is the unpackaging of the dual cassette feeder for Topaz. Recommended unpackaging is open it up, remove the foam on top, then we're going to set the device box on its side to get the dual cassette feeder out. Push that down around the sides. You're going to tilt it. Which way? This way. Just leave that out. That work, Michael? Okay. I'm going to slide it out straight. There we go. Keep going, keep going. Then if we flip the box backwards, then we can just drop this down. And that's the orientation. The spacer needs to be installed on the bottom of the dual cassette feeder, but before we can do that, we have to remove the 4 casters and the 3 stabilizers and move them to the bottom of the spacer. The screws for the casters are pre-threaded on the spacer. The screws for the stabilizers are not threaded on the spacer, so when you reinstall these screws, 4 on each of these adjusters onto the spacer, you'll be tapping those holes, so it requires a little bit more driving force. And it's easier to take off the adjusters to gain access to the 4 screws for each of the brackets. the brackets for the stabilizers will require that the screws tap the holes, so it's really important to use simply a manual screwdriver and apply downward force to tap each hole. The spacer is attached to the bottom of the dual cassette feeder with a set of brackets that are taped here. These brackets get installed at 2 locations on the back of the spacer. Like this. You're going to have to be able to see here. You can see in there okay? Yep. Okay. So Elaine, if you want to join me, what we'll do is we're just going to rotate this, okay? Like this. Then we're going to lift it like this. And we're going to put it over here like that. How did that go? Step out of the frame. Right in here. Stick in one of the brackets. Any of this stuff. Then show that as the final shot. Okay. So now we're going to show the removal of the packing materials. Start over here. I got to get these off. Tray's pretty straightforward. There's the foam. We'll just show me taking those out. We'll just set them aside. Going in back here and finding this piece of foam. Okay. And then we do the other tray. Think there's any more on that side, right? One thing I got to figure out is this is the unpackaging of the Topaz Work Group mono engine. We're going to open it from the top and remove some of the things that are shipping on top of the engine first. And actually it's just the packaging. Box off now. Just be really careful of our clearance up on top and kind of sway it toward the back here. All right. Just want to point out that the power cord and the installation guide are loose on the back. So the next step really is simply the bag comes down, you locate the handles, because it doesn't make sense to start with any of the unwrapping because you're only going to get down so far and you can't get the unwrapping off the trays. So what are, reach in here, grab a hold of the handle. All right, head on in. Lift straight up. This one's probably 240.
Take a couple steps towards the cassette feeder.
Try to keep the front aligned. That's the best reference. That looks good. All right, we're going to start removing the packing materials. Start from the top down. So we'll get the sheet off the top, off the tape first. A couple pieces of foam. Get rid of those. I'm going to lift up the document feeder, and there's tape on the scanner. Do you want me to rotate it so we can see the label for the scanner lock? Because that would be logical at this point. So that's the imaging drum, and I'm just going to place it aside. Okay. Reach across, get the foam off the delivery area. Okay. Then what I advise to do is take the screw out. As soon as you're finished taking the screw out. Okay. Let's take the label off. That's everybody's indication that we took the screw out. Okay. They are. Maybe grabbing it,
Yeah,
and then
go ahead, and then I'm gonna follow you as you open it. There you go.
but really what it's pointing to is right here. Undo this. And this piece of foam here.
Okay.
Okay. And then you just show me kind of reaching back here and doing the same thing with the tape back here. We don't need to see it because it's the same piece.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Step out. Good. Okay.
That work? Okay, go ahead, pull those.
Yep.
Then we get,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
open up the front.
Go ahead.
So remove the TCU, push on either side.
Good.
Okay. And you open the right door.
Okay, and you just, here we go. Okay.
Okay. Open up the foam. Take out the imaging drum. Place it like that. We'll get the foam out of the way. Next step. I'm pretty sure they seal these bags. So what we need to do is cut it open. You see all that? Take this out. We're going to have to do some positioning work. Does that look good? So we got two Mylar covers. We got a seal. We got another seal, and we got a front seal, and I can just orient them properly as we're doing it. Okay? So what you do is you take this seal off first. It kind of wraps around like this. That work?
Yep.
Okay, we'll get rid of that one. Now we're going to go over to here. See this big orange thing? Pull that out. Then down in this end down here, I'm going to grab this seal, pull it off like this. Then over here, you take this plug out. Okay? Now I'm going to rotate the thing around. And we've got this seal right here. Is that a good frame?
I think so, yeah.
And it just pulls straight out like that.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it in 2 steps. I'm going to show it going in. Then I'm going to bring a screw in. I'm going to put pressure on it. Do you want to get tighter on the connector, or is that pretty good for the connector?
Actually, that's pretty good, 'cause it's,
Okay.
see that, yep.
Push, push the connector in. Put it in there.
And, we'll open it again, I'll get a tight shot on that lever. Go ahead and close the door, and out. Nice. And open the door.
Okay.
All right. And do your thing, sir.
Okay. I'm going to come back with a screwdriver and take the screws out. Magic, and this has all got some toner in it. Okay. The only action that's necessary is I'm going to start loosening the cover back here. I'm going to reach over here. I'm going to pull that cover out like that. And that cover comes out. Okay? I just realized I lied to you because we got to work our way around and get this inside cover out. I'm going to reach in here, take the covers off. Show the covers removed. Now that we have enough cable, you just reach in, grab a hold of the cover, push it out that far, see it out of the screw. Show that screw being removed. You reach in, grab a hold of the panel, and pull it out. Okay? So you push right here. I don't know how much you can see of that.
I just see your finger.
Okay? Because it is kind of hidden behind my finger. Can I show it outside?
Yeah. No, to your left. Okay, good.
So it's a push like this. Does that help?
Yep, yep, let me see that.
Okay?
Yep. Let's go ahead and take the other one out before you do the flag.
Okay. I'm going to reach in and pull it out and frame it up a little bit for you.
You can actually see that one pretty good. Okay, good.
Okay. Right here.
Okay, good. Okay, and you take that out, and then go ahead and remove it. And right there. Good.
Can you see the hook on the end of it?
I can.
Cool.
And out.
Okay.
Nice.
We're going to take off these 2 screw covers. And we are going to show, I can get this screw out, okay? They won't be able to do this. So what we're going to do is show me going like this, like, uh-oh. Okay? So I'm going to go out of the frame with that. I'm going to come back into the frame with this.
Perfect.
Need a stubby screwdriver. Of course, the tip is not magnetic enough, so I got it. All right, now we're going to take off this panel over here. Reach under here. Okay. Now that's all we need to do is okay. So just walk in like I'm getting ready to install this. Second exit. Take off the tape. Unhook the flag. Yep.
There you go.
That goes out of the frame.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're going to
Then the next act,
there.
that's real apparent right there.
Yeah, let's just hold that.
Okay.
I'll highlight those. Okay, and then go ahead and connect them.
Okay, so I'm going to move it in like this. Put it into the keyhole. Swing the front in. So cover comes in. Put the back end in first. Locate the front. Okay. And just show the cover snapping back down. And then I'll just put the one screw back in. And you can finish off by showing the button covers go back on. Okay. So walk in, start taking, turn up the connector, put it in for us. Go to this half with the internal brackets. This step that I'm showing you, when I put these back in, I will borrow your electric screwdriver.
No problem. Okay, so let's,
So-
let's have you step out.
Okay.
And just get that. Once it's off, just go ahead and lift it and just take it out. Okay, and then out, all the way out. There you go.
Going to be one mounting in the front. So there's the hook. There's the slot. Again, just hanging in the hole there. How about if I bring the cover into the frame? Show this. Now look here.
Okay.
You see the cover? We're going to push out the tape. Peel it off.
Okay.
Okay. Put the cover back on. Got to start low.
Okay, then step out. Okay. And then we can.
Okay.
Go ahead and come out. There we go. Yep. And then that connector actually goes to the finisher.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start at the front corner. I'm going to work my way around so you'll know what I'm doing in the back if I just show you what I'm doing in the front. I don't really see the value of you showing. I don't want to do the front inside yet, so I'm just taking these guys. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to reach inside and pull this piece of tape off with the foam. That's probably critical that we show that. Okay. One more piece of tape here. Check the door real quick. That one. There's one here at the stapler we got to get off first. And then we're going to so take the screw out of here. Okay. And reach in and take the label off. Okay. So now the next motion would be rotate the knob this way. This is where we got to wait till we hear that click sound or see the white. So do we want to point that out now? Or do you want me?
I'll just put a highlight on. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to rotate back out. Now we can reach in and while holding the knob, we can install the staple cartridge. How'd that look?
Right there. Good. And step back out. Perfect. So you know where you're going with what.
Brackets initially. Then we'll put the then I'll step out of the frame and we'll bring the tray in. We install it like this. What I want to point out is here's here, 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 and here.
Okay.
Okay? So they have to go, is this push down motion when I do this. Okay? Now I don't know how much you can see this, but I'm just going to put the screw in, but I'm going to move my hand up on top so I can hold it down. And I'll step out. Okay, just walks in. There's a couple of tabs. Does that work? Okay, so you're going to walk in, grab a couple of screws, grab a bracket, and bring it in like this.
Perfect. Yeah, I got
See the R? It's that critical to show the F. So if you just want to go out there and I'll just bring the bracket in, just bring it in like this. Okay. Okay. We're going to take the tape off. I'm going to reach around and the black dot goes backwards. Right over there someplace. Okay. How well we can do the rotation here. I could probably do it smoother than that.
Actually, I think that was okay.
Really?
Yeah. And then what?
Go with it?
Yeah.
And reach down. And I'm going to end. Now, at this point, line
Right.
from here to there.
I can highlight that.
And the note would be, make sure that the unit, that vertical gap is even. And if necessary, adjust the casters. And what we could do is separate it and show where the two apparent caster adjustments are. Then there's two more on this side. I think it's worthwhile because if people don't do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's have you step out so
Okay.
I can get that beauty shot.
Okay.
Okay, there's that. And then, how do you want to show that?
What I'd probably have you do is maybe do a graphic line.
Okay, can do that.
And the note would say, make sure the gap is even, the vertical gap is even.
Right.
If not, adjust the casters as necessary, and we point out the four caster locations.
Okay.